Hello everyone, I am back with more DESTASH junk journal kits, and this video will have two kits. One will be a daisy kind of garden flower themed kit, and the other will be a combination. So let me go ahead and jump in. There's quite a bit of stuff, so I will get started with the first kit. And here we have some vintage, what are these called? Jada notes, I guess. And they do have a Bible verse, so you'll get several of those. And I have a stack of the antique music sheets. This one is a booklet. Goes together. This one's 1910. So the majority is from the early 1900s. And this kit has quite a few in here. I just really want to get all of the DESTASHes over with and done, and I'm getting very close. Here's some vintage, I believe it's called score paper, so I thought that would be nice for junk journals. Here is kind of going with the theme, the Holy City. This is, okay, this is, looks like 1892, so that's the oldest date I've seen yet. So that's pretty cool. I did not realize there was an 1892 music booklet in here. So I believe this goes with it. Okay, and then here is the last music sheet. Then we have this photo, and I don't know if metallic's the word for it, but it has kind of a sheen to it, and it says printed in England. Then you will get these little vintage cards with Bible verses, and there are 3 of those. Don't see a date, but you can tell they are vintage. You can see the nice aging on them. The Bible verse and alphabet. So then we have this handmade envelope. Here's a prayer of the Holy Spirit. Parents' prayer. Hey Jude, you sitting right there? Here is a prayer card. A miniature Bible with a 4-leaf clover. That will stay in there. Here's some cross cutouts. A pack of used vintage postage stamps. Some little angel wings. Here is a song book. And this is dated 1953. I'm not sure what this is about, but I will leave it in the book. I've never seen that before. Here's a Worship and Praise book, and this is 1932. And then we have, I guess, an inspiration book. It has some very nice images. And this is 1982, so it's a little bit newer, but still vintage. There's some vintage, looks like newspaper sermons or something in there. So then we will get into the other odds and ends. We have a couple of the library pockets, some vintage flashcards. Okay, so we have a vintage game piece. I thought this would make a nice insert. Here are some gift certificates. These are $19.99. Some vintage index cards. Here's a vintage envelope. So just all sorts of vintage items. Great for junk journals. Here are some of the large envelopes for coffee staining, tea dyeing, distressing. Here's an assortment of paper doilies. Here are the 1972 instructional stickers. Here's an assortment of papers. And then some vintage shelf paper. Here is a piece of that vintage wall border. I am not sure what this is, but it is dated 1928. I am throwing it in. And then we have a stack of recipe cards. These are newer. Here's more of the vintage index cards. The majority of the recipe cards are vintage, but there are some that are newer. These are newer. These are adorable little sheets, vegetables and things on it. I think these are my favorite. These are really pretty. Okay, and then just an assortment of different playing cards. Last thing will be these Tupperware labels, and you will get the little box that I think it's kind of full. I'm not sure how to open it, but there's quite a bit in there. So that is the first lot. Okay, here is the second lot. These lots will be $25 shipped. If you're interested, I will leave the information in the description. So this one has some similar items in it. The big envelopes. All right, get your hand back. Some of the flashcards, and the different papers, the vintage shelf papers. This is the daisy flower garden lot, so I included a stack of, I don't know if those are daisies, I'm not sure, but it's kind of a yellow theme also, so I included it. More shelf paper. Here we have paper doilies. Then we get into the antique music sheets. Here's a nice booklet. This is dated, I actually don't see a date. Okay, 1967. Here we have Down With It. That was appropriate. Then we have Dainty Daisy Day. And then That's What the Daisy Said. It's yellow, so I thought that would go nicely with the color scheme here. Here is an envelope. It's adorable. There's a card that goes with it. It's a get well soon card, but I thought this portion would make a nice tuck spot. You could just cover that up or cut it off. So I thought that was nice. Here's a handmade card. I figured you could do the same thing. You could just alter it. Here's a packet of die cut pieces. Looks like tags and tabs and things like that. I included some of the Prima flowers. I thought the colors matched the color scheme. Here's a small vintage envelope. Here's a vintage note paper. Here's some note cards. They're 2011, but I thought they had nice images for this particular kit. Here's a plain card with some nice aging. Here is a little seed packet. Here's some seam binding. Some vintage hankies. Another one with a beautiful color scheme on there. It's a doily. Some fabric. I don't know if these are handkerchiefs or napkins. They're napkins. Thank you, Jude. They have some nice stitching, embroidery. I'm not sure what that's called. Here we have some vintage lace fabric. Then an assortment of tags. Here's some yellow tags. Satin ribbon. Little flower images. Little sewing kit. Here's more die cuts and tags. Butterfly. Another little sewing kit. Of little trinkets and things to decorate a journal or craft project. Cute little camera. Little mushroom piece there. Some buttons. So that is it. That's the Daisy themed lot. And if you're interested, I will leave the information in the description box. And thank you so much for watching.